Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else. This is John Paval with the Access Arts Live weekly roundup of organ, recital, and concert live streams for you for the week of May 26th until June 2nd, although it's already May 27th, so everything's just a day off or anything. But this is our usual Tuesday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Europe, 10 in the morning on the East Coast, and 7 in the morning on the West Coast. Sorry, but I know you Hollywood people get up very early to do this kind of thing. So it really shouldn't be that much of a problem for you. We have so much going on this weekend. I want to remind you that we have. There are young and ambitious organists. There are acclaimed and established organists. There are organs that have incredible pedigrees and highly interesting programs being played, both of traditional organ music and early music with Baroque instruments, and just so much. Now, before we go any further, let me remind you, if you're watching this on Facebook, please click the like button. If you're watching on any of our other 6 platforms, please follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live. That would be on YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and or LinkedIn. Wherever it is you find us and or follow us. We have such a lineup today. Let me just show you the picture of all of the different organists that we have to tell you about, playing all over the world. Let me get that picture up for you. Some of these organists have been students of the others. Others are colleagues of the others. So it's a great lineup. You've got Dmitry Ushakov there, the guy in the second row, sort of in the blue background. He's way out in Siberia. You've got Jeremy Wan there, right next to him on the right, but up on the first row, the second guy from the left, that's Kevin Bowyer, and Jeremy Wan studied under Kevin Bowyer. Kevin Bowyer has been around so long and done so much that he would be legendary if he wasn't still alive. But he's still alive, so he's just, I don't know what, mythical? Anyway, so let me start getting to it because we have so much. It's going to take time to go through everything that we have to tell you about. And the first live stream is coming up just a little bit later today in about 3 hours' time. Tuesday, May 27th, St. James Cathedral. I'll start that again, and that's today. Today, Tuesday, May 27th, St. James Cathedral, Toronto, is hosting Derrick Meador from Shreveport, Louisiana, for its weekly organ recital live stream at 1 o'clock Toronto time, which will be 7 o'clock in the evening European time, about 3 hours from now, or 10 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. Derrick is the organist and choir master at St. Mark's Cathedral in Shreveport. And he has performed at a lot of venues, both in the U.S. and Europe. He mentions the Świnoujście International Music Festival in Poland. Hope I pronounced that right. The National City Christian Church in Washington, D.C. He's played in Houston, Seattle, Syracuse. He has commissioned a lot of works by a New York-based composer named Buck McDaniel, so maybe he will play some of that music. We don't know. The St. James Cathedral in Toronto never gives us the program of the musician. The organ is an 87 rank, 67 stop, 4 manual and 6 division outfit with 5,101 pipes, first built by S.R. Warren organs back in the 1800s, most recently rebuilt with additions by L.I. Phelps and Associates. So that's what you have coming up just a little bit later today if you're already hankering after an organ recital live stream. Next up is the guy that I was talking about in my introduction, who is so legendary that his name appears magically on his photos. That's Wednesday, May 28th, the prolific and highly accomplished Kevin Bowyer closes out the organ recital season for the Glasgow University Chapel, playing their Henry Willis organ. They'll be back in the fall of 2025. Kevin Bowyer, Royal Academy of Music, 1979 to 1982. 40 years ago? While he was still a student, this is where the legend comes from, he performed all of the organ symphonies of Charles-Marie Widor, Louis Vierne, and Marcel Dupré, and the complete organ music of Olivier Messiaen. He did this as a student. Since then, he's done about 90 recordings, recorded all of Bach's organ music for Nimbus. He says he's played over 100 different composers over the years. It's a Henry Willis organ, but it's a Henry Willis III organ, built in 1927 and most recently refurbished by Harrison and Harrison of Durham in 2005, about 20 years ago. We do not have the program he's playing because the Glasgow University Chapel never tells us what their organists are playing. And next up, there's Wednesday, there's 5 or 6 live streams on Wednesday. So you're going to have a plethora that you can choose from. And if I were you, I'd choose the ones where they actually tell you what is the program they're going to be playing, which does not include this next one. Wednesday, May 28th, the Temple Church London live streams Simon Bell, the Eddington Musical Festival organist since 2015, playing their Harrison and Harrison organ. That's at 2:15 in the afternoon, European time, 8:15 in the morning on the East Coast, 5:15 in the morning on the West Coast, and 11:15 at night, Wednesday night, down under in Australia, if you're listening. Bell is a graduate of Leeds and the Royal College of Music. He's also the director of choral music and organist at the Dean Close School in Cheltenham, where he also directs a group called the Tewkesbury Abbey Schola Cantorum. He was formerly an assistant director of music at Winchester Cathedral. So he's a working man. It's a Harrison and Harrison Limited organ, 4 manuals, 3 32-foot stops, originally built way back in 1927 for a ballroom in Scotland, where it was inaugurated by Marcel Dupré. They brought it down by rail in 1953 and installed it. It was taken apart and refurbished completely in the Harrison and Harrison workshop in Durham about a decade ago, around 2012-13. We come up now to the next concert, which is also at that same slot. We have all these 3 or 4 mid-afternoon British live streams, but this one, we know what the guy's going to be playing. Isn't that great? I mean, I don't know how you make a choice if you don't know what the man is playing. And once you start seeing what they're playing, though, they play interesting, and I'm sure they will do interesting selections, especially Kevin Bowyer. I don't think he ever plays anything that's not interesting. All right. Wednesday, May 28th, Queen's College, Oxford, live streams organist and conductor David Enlow from Park Avenue Synagogue in New York City, playing Mendelssohn, CPE Bach, Sweelinck, and Johann Sebastian Bach. There. Now you know what he's playing. That's at 2:10 in the afternoon on Wednesday, European time, 8:10 in the morning on the East Coast, 5:10 on the West Coast, 11:10 p.m. Australia. Precisely what he's playing is Mendelssohn's, he's playing selections from Mendelssohn's Sonata number 1 in F, CPE Bach's Organ Sonata in B flat, Jan Peter Schulen's variations on Mein junges Leben hat ein End. My young life has come to an end. And Bach's Fantasia and Fugue in G minor. That's Johann Sebastian Bach. David has been the music director at Park Avenue Synagogue for about 5 years now. He's also the assistant conductor for the Clarion Choir, the organist for the Clarion Choir. He's appeared in a lot of different places. He's recorded on the Pro Organo label the complete major organ works of César Franck. And he's, as a concert soloist, his repertoire includes Barber, Poulenc, Haydn, Handel, Respighi, Reinberger, and Sanson. He's got 2 degrees from Juilliard's school. Come on, he's a really good organist. You want a really good organ recital? It's hard to do better than that this Wednesday afternoon, mid-afternoon in European and British time. But we're not done with recitals or concerts on Wednesday. There's another one in the evening. In fact, I think there may be two more Wednesday evening, but these will be later in the day. This is one where we get into early music and period instruments. Wednesday, May 28th, Artbene live streams Dmitry Maximenko playing early music from the British Isles on the Kuhn organ at the Roman Catholic Cathedral, along with period instruments, Baroque violin, guitar, and lute. That's right, that'll be at 7 in the evening European time, 1 in the afternoon on the East Coast, 10 in the morning on the West Coast, and 8 o'clock Moscow time, because that's where the Roman Catholic Cathedral is located. There's a picture there for you of Dmitry Maximenko. He plays often at the Roman Catholic Cathedral, often with another organist there, and because he's the resident organist at the Anglican Church of St. Andrew in Moscow. The program includes Handel, Purcell, Boyce, Gibbons. There are 3 pieces by Purcell that they play. There's Handel's Trio Sonata in B minor, Purcell's trumpet tune, Voluntary for double organ, John Dowland's Flow My Tears. What this is, John Eccles. What this is Russians being in love with early English music and playing a lot of it for you with period instruments. I mean, what a great idea. Okay, and we have one more later in the day on Wednesday. You know, well, you could just do a lot of jumping up and back, and I guess real organ lovers might do that. The next live stream we have for you is coming from. We're very glad to have them back. It's coming from the people at Methuen Memorial in Massachusetts. They were down all the winter time, and now they're back for their summer series. Wednesday evening Eastern Daylight Time, May 28th, Methuen Memorial Summer Concert Series live streams Nigel Potts playing its great organ, the oldest concert organ in the continental United States of America. There, it's at 7:30 in the evening Eastern Daylight Time, 4:30 on the West Coast. No having to get up early for this one, folks. 1:30 late night in Europe, and 9:30 in the morning down under in Australia on Thursday. Nigel Potts is a New Zealander who, nonetheless, after studying in Wellington at the conservatory there and at Trinity College of Music, London, which is of course very respectable, then he got a master's in music at Yale, and where is he settled down to now? I'm trying to find out, do my notes say where he's playing now? And I don't have something. I think he's a concert organist. I don't think he's a church organist. I'm not finding that in his record. His bio says he's given over 70 recitals on 4 continents. Does a lot of organ transcriptions, did a radio program in Philadelphia all about transcriptions for the organ, Wanamaker organ there in Philadelphia. The Methuen Memorial Concert, the organ there is an Aeolian Skinner, Opus 1103, 1947. But that was a reworking of an organ that's been there since the 1860s. And it was originally built for the Boston Concert Hall. Then 20 years later, it went into storage or something. Eventually, it was bought up again, and they built the Methuen Memorial Concert Hall to suit the specifications of the organ, not vice versa. So it's very special. That organ has 4 manuals, 5 divisions, 86 stops, 116 ranks, and 6,088 pipes. None of the other organs we've talked to you about so far this week's live streams has more. You have to get to the organs in Paris at St. Eustache Church to find more this week. What is he going to be playing? We don't have a specific program of what he's going to be playing. So, but you can expect him possibly to mix in some of his own transcriptions along with other traditional organ music. And we have one. I think we have one more to tell you about. Although I'm way out of the time frame telling you about it, because it's probably the earliest one on Wednesday, because it's coming out of Tomsk, way out in Siberia. This guy. Wednesday, May 28th, Dmitri Ushakov plays Bach, jazz, and Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, parts 1 and 3, among other things, way out in Tomsk, Siberia. That's at 7 o'clock KRAT time, which is Siberia, which is 1 o'clock in the afternoon European time. So it's before the various mid-afternoon, the 2 o'clock in the afternoon concerts that come out of Britain at that time, the Glasgow and Temple Church London and Oxford University, Queen's College, Oxford University. It's the hour beforehand. He'll play Bach, Toccata and Fugue in F major, Beethoven Sonata number 14 in C sharp major, that's the Moonlight, Wilshire's Sherlock Holmes Suite, Talbot Ball's Variations on Paganini's Caprice, Gardoni's Mozart Changes, Kunkel's Suite, play Bach, play jazz, and Meador's Adagio and Toccata from Symphony number 5 for organ. And there you go. He does all these concerts way out there in Tomsk, and he's just going to have fun. That's what that is, especially with Meador at the end. If you want to have fun, and call him up or tune that in. Okay. So we have a couple more to go. The next one is, this is the guy who studied with Kevin Bowyer. Thursday, May 29th, the Truro Cathedral is back live streaming organ recitals with organist, saxophonist, and composer Jeremy Wan playing Meador, Bach, Messiaen, and Tournemire. That's at 2:10 in the afternoon European time, 8:10 in the morning on the East Coast, 5:10 on the West Coast, and 10 past midnight down under in Australia. That'll be Charles Marie Meador's Moderato from Symphony number 10, Bach's Chaconne from the violin Partita number 2 in D minor, Messiaen's Prière du Christ from the Ascension, and Charles Tournemire's Improvisation sur le Te Deum, an improvisation on the Te Deum. Jeremy studied under Kevin Bowyer while he was an organ scholar at the University of Glasgow. He's currently the organ scholar at Truro Cathedral, was previously that at the Guildford Cathedral. He also was, when he was in Glasgow, the director of music at All Saints Bearston Church. And he's played a lot of organ recitals at the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery, which is also where Kevin Bowyer hangs out and plays all the time. It's a Father Willis organ, delivered by Boat and installed in 1887, almost identical to the ones that Willis built for what later became Coventry Cathedral. And it has, we are told, the standard Willis hallmarks, quote unquote, tierce mixtures on grate and swell, characterful gadats on the choir, and a small but telling pedal division. Chapeau. So there you go. That's the man and the music and the organ. But there's one more organ live stream coming in on Thursday evening. As I told you, there's so much going on this week. And this is by a really top organist as well, whom I would not want to miss this if I were you, if you really love the organ. Here's the photo of this guy. This is Thomas Ospital. Thursday, May 29th, St. Eustache Church resident organist Thomas Ospital celebrates the 10 years since his installation at that church by playing Olivier Messiaen's Ascension, the Ascension. That'll be at 5 in the evening. That's when they always play at St. Eustache Church. Usually it's on Sundays, but this is a special week because it's 10 years for both Thomas Ospital and Baptiste Florian Mal-Ouvrard, who'll be playing on Sunday. And in fact, today, Tuesday, at 8 o'clock this evening here in Paris, I will be at St. Eustache Church because Mal-Ouvrard and Ospital are doing a special concert to celebrate their 10 years there. They came in, they both won a competition to who would be the successor to the legendary Jean Guillou. who was the organist there before. So he'll be playing the Ascension, which comes in these parts, the Majesty of Christ, demandant sa gloire à son Père in French, the serene alleluias of a soul which longs for heaven, the transports of joy of a soul before the glory of Jesus Christ, and then the Christ of the prayer of Jesus Christ as he's rising towards his Father. Prière du Christ montant vers son Père. I think it'll be a great concert, and I'm happy they're live streaming it. I'm sorry they're not live streaming tonight's special celebration, but you can't have everything. So we move along now. We move then to Friday night. Every day of this week, except Saturday, I think, you can hear a live stream of an organ recital if your soul pines for it, like the deer pines for water or something like that, as it says in the Bible. Friday, May 30th, St. Paul's Episcopal in San Diego live streams the articulate and engaging Canon Martin Green playing the organ with the longest history in that region. An Aeolian Skinner rebuilt by Quimby pipe organs a decade ago. And that's at the usual time. We don't know what he's playing, but he's a great guy and he gives great articulate explanations. That's Friday at 1 p.m. on the West Coast, 4 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 o'clock your Friday evening here in Europe. That organ has 4 manuals, 98 stops, 86 ranks, 115 draw knobs, 4,933 pipes. It's now a Quimby pipe organ, Opus 68. It was an Aeolian Skinner, Opus 1495. And we move right along because the time of this is stretching out. There's so much. There's just so much being live streamed this week. And then on Sunday, we have 2 more live streams I'm going to tell you about on Sunday. Here's the first of them on Sunday. It's the weekly St. Eustache Church Paris live stream. Sunday, June 1st, St. Eustache Church in Paris live streams resident organist and showman Baptiste Florian Malhouvrard playing Duruflé on the magnificent Vanden Heuvel organ, one of the largest organs in France. That's at 5 p.m. European time, the usual time in the heart of Paris, 11 o'clock on the East Coast and 8 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. That Vanden Heuvel organ has 101 stops, 5 manuals, 7,952 pipes, more or less almost exactly the same as Notre Dame Cathedral's. And it's a terrific organ. If you want to know more about it, you can go to our YouTube channel and look at the interview playlist where you'll find my live stream interview with Thomas Ospital telling us all about the architecture of the church and how it influences the sound of the organ and the organ parts and all of that. Fascinating talk. Check it out. And I forgot to tell you, the Duruflé he's playing is Suite Opus 5, Prelude, Sicilian, and Toccata. And we are down now to the last of this week's live streams. Those of you who have been watching all the way through, I salute you and thank you for your fidelity to Access Arts Live. And where is this last one? Here it is. Here's the guy, Grant Wareham. Sunday, June 1st, Grant Wareham from First Unitarian Church in Dallas, Texas, plays new works by Rachel Loren and Karum Al-Zan, along with the Sonata of Mendelssohn and Wareham's own transcription from Tchaikovsky's Fifth Symphony. Grace Cathedral is starting up monthly live streams now on Sunday, so there's this one on June 1st. It's at 3 o'clock on the West Coast, 6 in the evening on the East Coast, midnight in Europe, and 8 o'clock Monday morning down under in Australia. Grant was named one of Diapason magazine's top 20 under 30 organists in 2020. He's the director of music and organist at First Unitarian Church of Dallas. He was at Derrick Church in Hershey, Pennsylvania before that, where he oversaw the restoration and reinstallation of an Aeolian Skinner Opus 1132, which was highlighted in trade magazines at the time. He's got a bachelor's from Rice and a master's degree from Yale University. The music he's playing is Rachel Loren's Etude Héroïque. Rachel is contemporary. She passed away just a few years ago, sadly, 1963 to 2023. Did not live as long as some of us are fortunate enough to do. Then he'll do Mendelssohn Sonata number 1 in F minor, Opus 65, number 1. Karim Al-Zan's Let Down the Scale of Music from the Sky. Fantasy on a Ground by Purcell. This is new. I think it's 2022 it was composed. Then he'll do Tchaikovsky's, he'll do the finale from the Tchaikovsky Symphony number 5, as Grant himself transcribed it. And that's it. It's a 7,466 pipe Aeolian Skinner instrument, Opus 910A, but it was really designed by G. Donald Harrison, an Englishman, as an American classic organ. Back in the 1930s, designing an organ which could play some of the new music that was coming out, as well as more traditional music. It originally, there's a long history to it. I'll just give you the link to it because there's no time for me to go into giving you all the details of the history of that particular, it would just take too long and it's too complicated. So here we are, almost 30 minutes into it. There's just so much going on, folks, that there was to tell you about. But I'm glad for those of you who have hung in there and enjoyed this. And you're very welcome to comment or let us know if you check into any of these live streams. Look for Access Arts Live in the chat box if it's on YouTube and say hello. If not, leave a comment and let us know what you think of all these live streams that we keep telling you about. Are we on the right track? Are we not on the right track? Was it a good live stream? Was it not a good live stream? How was the camera work? How was the sound, etc.? So other people can know what the score is. We'll pass on any comments that you make to everybody else. You can count on that happening. Before I sign off, I hope that one or any of these live streams inspires you, uplifts you, or just shows you a heck of a good time. I think Dmitri Ushakov just playing Bach and Beethoven and whatever the heck else he feels like could be a good time. Anyway, and as a final word, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video. If you're watching on any of our other 6 platforms, please follow and or subscribe to Access Arts Live on YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and or LinkedIn. We're on all those platforms because we want as much reach as possible, but it makes it harder for us then to accumulate as many followers as possible on each of those platforms and maybe start monetizing. I will be back at 6 o'clock this evening in about 1.5 hours with the weekly roundup of chamber music, and we have a slew of that as well, both early music, classical chamber music, and contemporary chamber music. So I can only say au revoir, à tout à l'heure, we'll see you soon, I'll be back, enjoy.